Hi, welcome to our Sunday meditation. Today is the 15th of November, and today I would like to talk about encouragement. It was actually the theme of our message this morning in our service on Zoom, and the preacher today was my wife, Susan Damasceno. It was really interesting to hear about encouragement as she told us the story of Moses, Joshua, the Israelites, and the two men who helped Moses. It was actually the first battle that they were going to have to face after they left Egypt. The Amalekites came to fight against them. They had no army, but they just had an improvised army done by Joshua, and they went to fight the Amalekites. And while they were fighting in the valley, Moses was on top of a hill with his rod, and while he kept it in the air, the army was winning in the valley. But then the battle took a long time, the whole day, and so at the end of the day, Moses was getting tired. So his brother Aram and his brother-in-law, some people believe that Ur was his brother-in-law, came with a stone, put Moses on the stone, and then they helped Moses to keep his arms in the air. And there's a beautiful painting that we found on the internet where you can see these two men holding Moses' arms. And then at the end of the day, the battle was won by Joshua and his army. So what do we learn about this story? I'm going to come back to that story later on. I would like to read then in Philippians chapter 1, verse 6, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. So Paul in Philippians chapter 1, as in Ephesians chapter 1 and Colossians chapter 1, as we've been sharing in our meditations on grace from Monday to Friday, Paul then in these three letters and also in other letters, he's praying for his brothers and sisters in these different towns and cities. I remind you that Paul was in prison when he wrote this letter. Actually, he's talking here that he is in chains and he's thinking of them. So what is the link between this verse and Exodus and the story of Moses and Ur and Aaron? Encouragement. Paul prays for his brothers and sisters as they face persecution, as they face the daily difficulties. As we keep on saying, the theme of our for this year and next year in our church here in the Basque Coast is life. La vie, un long fleuve tranquille. Suddenly, I cannot translate it. Life is not easy. Life is not like a river that is tranquille, that is calm, that is easy. Life is not easy. We know that. And it is very easy to say, well, the Lord started his work in you and he's going to finish it. It is true. That's what God is going to do. But God also called us to be a source of encouragement to others. And that's what Paul is saying here. In verse 3, he says, I thank my God every time I remember you in all my prayers for all of you. I always pray with joy because of your partnership in the gospel from the first day until now. And then it says, being confident of this, that he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus. It is right for me to feel this way. about you, all of you, since I have you in my heart. For whether I am in chains or defending and confirming the gospel, all of you share in God's grace with me. I pray for you. And to pray for someone, it's an amazing way of encouraging the person and helping the person and help yourself. And it is actually invisible, isn't it? I mean, you're not telling everyone on Facebook or Instagram or whatever that you are praying. When you really pray for a person, Paul is telling them to encourage them so they know that he's thinking of them. And he's saying that in a letter, but you don't even need to say that. You can pray for people you don't know. You can pray for people you haven't seen for a while. It's a way of encouraging them. And also, you can do some practical things as well. During the first lockdown in March and April, we received a parcel via the post office. And this big parcel was filled with different sorts of cheeses from this area. I don't know if you've ever been to France, but France is well known for the different kinds of cheeses that they have here, from cow's milk, goat's milk, and in the area where I live, here in the Pyrenees-Atlantiques, it is the lamb's milk, as they call it. There's all these different cheeses that are very famous and delicious. So I got this big parcel filled with cheeses inside. And this man, this friend from the church, wanted to encourage us during our lockdown. And then the other day, we got a parcel from my mom and dad, from my parents-in-law, from England, with a present, a Christmas present. We might not be able to go to England for Christmas this year. So to encourage us, it's not the size of the parcel or what it's inside, but it's the fact that someone thought about you. You can send chocolate, French chocolate, from Bayonne, from our area here, flour, a card. Because it's much, much easier to do what is wrong and to say all sorts of horrible things about people in the internet than to be a source of blessing. It is very easy. If you open your Facebook now, you find lots of horrible things that people are saying against other people. It's easy to do that. Everyone can do that. But if you're a child of God, you can encourage other people. Maybe you are not Joshua, you are not even the army. You are certainly not Moses. Or you might not be Aaron, his brother. Maybe you are the stone where Moses was sitting. It doesn't matter which part you are going to play in the battle. God has given you a lot. Your heart is full of hope and love and joy. So share the things that God has given you already. Encouragement is free. You don't need to send anything on the post. You can only pray for a person. And that's an amazing way of encouraging someone. May God bless you and help you to be a huge encouragement to others. Life is not easy, and we are going through a terrible time, but I pray that God will help us to be this source of encouragement to others. God bless you.